Netflix too. But anyway, enough about Dave Chappelle. So we talk about this travel. Definitely a goal you should have in your life, or if you don't already have it, is to get out and see the world. People, you cannot be stuck in your little corner of the world. You know, you can't be in Decatur your whole life. At least get out and see the city of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? You see Atlanta, you know your city. Get out and see Florida. I mean, everybody go to Florida. So once you seen Florida, get out and see somewhere else. New York, California, got somewhere. So that's my tip number one. Start with baby steps. If you don't want to just jump out there, just get out. Go places you can drive to. Definitely anywhere around Atlanta within a 6-hour radius. You got New Orleans, Alabama, Mississippi, South Carolina, you know, everywhere around our border. And there's a lot of stuff to do. My tips for those who haven't been anywhere, especially if you have kids. You got Tennessee and Florida are two top places you got to go. You got to go to Florida at least. And everybody has to go to Orlando if you got kids. And if you're just a kid at heart. But yeah. So number one thing is we're going to talk about some of the ways to, because I hear people say all types of stuff when it comes to why they don't or can't travel. Which number one is always money. You know. And let me tell you, like people say all the time, there's ways around it. It don't matter what budget you're on. You can find a way to get somewhere.
Right.
Now, if you don't have, like a lot of people I know, if you don't have a car that's road ready, you know, you might can get from A to B and get to work, but you can't pluck that thing across the state line, you know what I'm saying? Then you got to go with the rental. Okay, we can do that. Nowadays, though, you got Uber. You got
Uber
Lyft.
out of town?
No, you can fly. If you can afford to fly, you don't have to worry about riding.
Oh.
You can Uber around. That's why I was trying to go with that. But otherwise, if you're gonna drive, it's a lot of ways to get a rental. It's actually some really cheap places that do rentals if you don't care about what you drive. I mean, you're gonna have a little pluck, you know what I'm saying, but it'll be working and it'll get you across the state. And you can probably get a car for as low as $40 a day, 30 maybe.
Right.
You know, so it just takes a little research, people. But one of the main things you need to do is if you are planning on getting outside of the state, number one, get you a passport. Passport is a big, well, you have to have it nowadays to go a lot of places that you didn't
go
before.
outside of the country.
You got to have it go outside the country, and that's in any type of form. Used to be if it was part of the U.S., you didn't have to have it. Now you even got to have it on certain parts of the U.S.
What parts of the U.S.?
The Caribbean. Certain Caribbeans, they are
but
considered.
Not if they're U.S. holdings. Like the U.S. Virgin Islands, no. Puerto
Right.
Rico, no.
Right.
You know, you don't need it for parts of, you know, U.S. holdings.
Mm.
But anywhere else in the Caribbean that's not a U.S. holding, it could be a British holding.
Right. Okay, there you go.
In that case, yeah. Or it could be French. And in that case, you're going to need it.
So I recently got my passport. And let me tell you some of the ways. First of all, the place you got to go if you want to start the process of getting your passport, www.travel.state.gov. Now, like I said, Google is a hell of a resource. I mean, you can find any of this stuff if you really care about it. Just go and Google it. Easy to find. You can also go to the USPS, which is United States Postal Service. They'll give you a lot of information on getting your passport because half the time you got to go through them to get it. So, passports, there are two options. You have the passport card and you have the passport book. Now, the card, which I found out, is only good for domestic, which is inside the nation. You know, you can't go internationally. You can't fly or go across the water with it internationally with the card. So anywhere landlocked, you can go to Mexico and come back. You know, anywhere you can.
You can't go abroad.
You can't go abroad. So that's what the book is for. The book is a little more expensive, and that would allow you to go anywhere. You know, you can fly, you can drive, you can take a ship, whatever you want to do. You can go to Japan, It don't matter. So the card is $55, people. The book, $135. Now they say if you want to get both, you can. I don't see the point in doing that, but if you do want to get both, you can get both at the same time. Of course, you would pay both of those fees, and they both last for 10 years. So that's a pretty good time, amount of time for that fee. Now, there are other fees involved, especially you have to take a picture for a passport. You have to take your own picture or get your own picture, or you can pay for it at certain centers.
Go to Walgreens.
But I always suggest just getting it yourself. Go to a drugstore, Walgreens, CVS, places like that. They do passport pictures, which is basically just a headshot against a plain white background. So, really, you can do it yourself if you can print them out like that in that small format. So that's all there is to that. So I suggest, number one, getting you a passport, because there's so much you can do and you can't get anywhere without it. So if you don't have a passport and you want to go somewhere, well, actually, you will still need a passport. But if you want to get outside of the normal places you drive, I suggest a cruise. A cruise is a lot of fun. It's it's a cheap option to get away. Especially if it is a cheap option. It's a pretty cheap option when you think about it. It's all inclusive, which is a word I was gonna bring up that you're gonna like if you don't know what that means. But yeah, all inclusive means everything's included for the price. So a cruise start as low as $200. You get to go away for a few days. You get all you can eat. Your room is included. I think
cruises are good when it comes to children.
Really? I've never taken my kids on a cruise. We were probably going to go this year.
Yeah, I think because especially I'm very particular when it comes to traveling. I think it's certain places kids shouldn't go. Like, I don't want to take my child to Miami. I don't want to take my child to New York City or fast move or Las Vegas. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to take my child to Destin, maybe Myrtle Beach, beaches, get them a little bit of, I think it's a difference between vacation and partying. And I think we need to, understand it too. Like, some people like to go out of town on crunk vacations. Some people like to go on vacation to relax. I like to go on vacations to experience. So I'm trying to figure out everything that is specific to whatever town I'm in. But I think cruises are good for middle school kids, high school kids, because it's like a central location. They can kind of be free but not go too far.
Right.
Because there are activities for them to do on a cruise trip, and there's food all over the place. There are pools there. There's a little nightclub, got a daycare. Then you get to stop and be in the city and then kind of hang out. Like most cruises you go on, they have a lot of things for children to do.
Yeah, you're right about it.
So I think, for a child, I think cruise ships are nice. Like, I don't want to go on vacation on a cruise ship.
No. It's something to me, and I like cruises, but I've been on a few, and to me, a cruise is something you do, like, it's good for a first time. And if you're going somewhere, you have to advance your cruises, in other words. You can't I can't say that. A lot of people like regular cruises. But I'm like you. It's pretty much, once you go on the one, it's redundant after that.
To me, people who don't have passports go on cruises.
Yeah.
Because you can get your birth certificate and you can go to the border of the country you're going to. You can hang around and buy some souvenirs and you get back on the boat with your birth certificate.
Right.
If I got a passport, I don't want to be limited to the Bay Area of a whole country.
Right.
Because I can't go past this certain amount of feet. And that's what the difference is between going on a cruise. You're allotted a certain amount of time inside of a country, but you basically stay on the shore. You don't go off of that shore.
Right.
And so I have an issue with, I don't want to go somewhere everybody's been. Like, I don't want to go all the hot places. Yeah. Like, everybody's been to Vegas. Everybody's been to L.A. Everybody's been to Miami. Like, what about Lake Geneva? What about Lake Tahoe? You know what I'm saying? What about, I don't know, Bangladesh or some shit like that? Like, I don't want to, you get a few things under your belt, but I'm a
You're
big
more
traveler.
Of an adventurer.
I'm a big traveler too, and an adventurer. So that's my thing. But I think cruises are good. Like you say, like that good in between space when you're branching out.
Right.
Or unless you. I've seen some of those, and
Right.
I would try a
And they'll
Norwegian
stay for a
cruise as
minute.
well.
They'll stay
Yeah,
for a few days. So
yeah. I've seen cruises to Bahamas that'll drop you off in Bahamas, and you stay in Bahamas for 3 or 4 days, and they'll come back and pick you up.
yeah, okay,
You know,
yeah.
like,
See,
that might be kind of dope.
see, you bring up a couple of good points in saying that. Number one, you got to know what type of traveler you are. Now, you won't know that until you get
Travel.
out or you know what type of person you are, really.
Right.
But so you got to know what type of traveler you are. Number two, you got to know what type of vacation you're trying to have, because that's a big one. Because you can't. I've been on vacations with people who sometimes I go on a vacation where I want to do stuff. You know, that's
Right.
the, what would you call that? The
Itinerary.
entertainment type of
Right.
vacation. Where others go on there to relax.
Mhm.
They want to sit on the beach and spend the whole day on the beach playing in the sand and stuff. No, not me. See, if I'm going to do stuff and you want to spend a whole day on the beach, we already got crossed paths right there. So you got to know, because a lot of people that go with a lot of other people.
Right.
So you got to know who you're going on a cruise with and what type of vacation is this going to be. Now, any vacation with the kids with me is always entertainment, because you're always trying to entertain them the whole time. Pretty much. The only time that I've been to the cabins with the kids, and Tennessee has a lot of stuff to do anyway, but you can spend a whole day inside because it's a bunch of people together is a fun time anyway.
Right.
So definitely figure out those two things. What type of person are you?
I think that it should be a few different types of trips. Like, if you have a year, you have 12 months, and let's say you're a person who says, okay, I'm gonna go out of town once a quarter. So that's 4 trips, right? You're gonna take a trip once every 3 months. I think one trip should be a trip with maybe your friends. I think another trip should be a trip with your family. I think maybe another trip should be like a boo trip. You know what I'm saying? Like, you and your spouse or whatever. And then whatever other kind of trip you like, which could be an event trip. And I think those are important. So you'll have one with you and your friends. Maybe you're a lady and you got your homegirls and y'all going to Vegas. That's a party trip. Miami is a party trip. New York can be a party trip. LA can be a party trip. Jamaica can be a party trip. Certain places you go. You talking about a little bit more intimacy. You would go somewhere, maybe a Lake Tahoe. Maybe you would go to Destin. You would go to Jekyll Island. Those are romantic places. It's cozy, it's quaint, it's quiet. Small towns. You get to meet the people. You get to taste the local food, but it's not so much as a party scene like it would be if you were out with your girls.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So it'll be a little bit more intimate because you're with one person and you're not really trying to turn up. Y'all just trying to enjoy each other's company, see the town. Then you get your kids' trips. Those are the places, to me, like you say, like a Hilton Head, Orlando, Tennessee, places like that. I think that if I stay in Georgia, then we're going to hit those neighboring states first. Because a lot of people want that big pie in the sky when there's so much to see right here in Georgia. You can go to Savannah and go to the beach. You can go to Blue Ridge and see the mountains. See, Georgia has a nice variety here. You know what I'm saying? You want to see country, then go to South Georgia. You want to see mountains, go to North Georgia. You want to see water, go to East Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have it all here. And then from there, let's branch out. There's the Huntsville Space Station in Alabama. Tennessee has Gatlinburg, has a lot to do there. You can go into Destin, or you can go into the Panhandle of Florida, where Destin, Santa Rosa, Florida, Panama, all of those places are right there in the Panhandle. If you want to travel further, then you have Orlando and Daytona, 8 hours away if you want to drive that far. Those are places I think that are good for kids.
Right.
If you start your kids out early, then we can go to Arkansas and we can see the lake, and then we can go to hiking inside of the forest, inside of the rainforest, or the state park, the national park that they have there. And I think having that type of appreciation for what the state has to offer is important too. If I go out of town with my kids, it can be eventful, but for the most part, they're going to be pretty satisfied with the beach. That's all the kids need. Like, I'm not going to go and spend a lot of money on children. They have to understand culture first. Now, once we get culture, we can delve on out into other things, but first you need to understand the appreciation of what travel has to offer. You understand what I'm saying? If you go out to Miami and you don't eat seafood, there's a problem, unless you're allergic to seafood. Like, what did you come to experience in Miami then? If you ain't come to experience, you know what I'm saying? You go to Brazil and you don't drink a caipirinha, then what did you come to Brazil for? If you go to Puerto Rico and you don't have a pina colada, then what did you go to Puerto Rico for if you're not trying to dance salsa and go see some forts? Because that's what Puerto Rico is about. Right. So I think embracing the experience is important, but I think it's different types of trips, like you said. You know, I think there's different things that a person should want to fulfill inside of their year span. And then you might have an event trip. An event trip like, okay, we're going to New Orleans for Essence Festival. I'm going to Treasure Island out here in San Francisco. I'm going to the Bonnaroo Festival in this month. You understand what I'm saying? Like, those are event trips. Or we're going to Bike Week up in down in Daytona or in Myrtle Beach. Those are event trips. And those are fun, too. You want to go there with a group. But I do think, you know, you should kind of have that planned out.
Definitely. Which is the next point, building an itinerary.
Right.
Like, I definitely believe. I know a lot of people who don't not because they wouldn't. They just don't know what they're gonna do, and they say, "I figured out when I get there." I think you should always at least know what's there to do.
Right. I think that's a waste of time and money to go somewhere without itinerary.
Right.
Anywhere you go, I feel like you should have an itinerary.
Just from just a budgeting standpoint.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. That's definitely something you should pre-do. You know, even if it's planned out, because I have a couple of I have a trip that I'm going on that's going to be all inclusive, and so they have everything for you. The parties, the events, everything is already planned out. You can just pick and choose what you want to go to. Even with that, I'm still looking like I'm gonna be here. They're not going to do this I want to do, or they're not going to do. So I look into other things that I want to do while I'm there.
Right.
So, and that goes back to what you're saying, like, you know, doing different trips. Like I say, depending on where I'm going, depends on if I want to get into the culture. Like, I want to experience everything whenever I don't care where I go. If I'm in Jamaica, I want to take some Jamaican food or something. Right. I can eat Jamaican food here, but
no, you can't.
No, you can't. Not like that. Like, you go to the source. You know what I'm saying? If I go to Italy, please believe I'm going to have some damn spaghetti. And I never buy spaghetti, but you know what I'm saying? I'm going to have a true Italian dish to see the difference. A pizza or something. I ain't going to call that Italian.
But I do think there are certain things as far as cuisine, culture and cuisine. I think landmarks and nature.
Definitely.
You know, and I think native people. So if I'm going on a trip, those are some of the things I want to do. So let's say we could pick a place. Let's say I'm going to, I don't know, Texas. I just pick a place, Texas. If I'm in Texas, then I think you're going to get Mexican food in Texas. I don't know what Texas food is outside of steaks. Right? No. It's not. No, that's South Carolina. That's Tennessee. Right? You talking Texas? You talking Longhorn? You talking steaks? Okay. You gonna get steaks and Mexican food in Texas. That's all you gonna get. Get over it. Okay. But if I'm there, okay, maybe I don't eat steak. I'm gonna go eat Mexican food. You know. Or there's Galveston, I want to go here. Maybe they have a museum or something I want to see. I want to get out and deal with the people. But I want a little bit of everything. I think I want the food. I think I want to go to whatever. I want to go to one nature spot, one natural spot, because I want to see what this place has to offer the planet.
You're a nature person.
I mean, I feel like even if you aren't a nature person, like how you come to my house and not wipe your feet on the rug. Like, that's disrespectful. You coming into my shit, but you're not acknowledging the owner of the house. You understand what I'm saying? You go in the, I just feel that way. I feel like that shit. You might not have to go hiking. You might not have to go hiking, but I think you should spend a little time outside. That's just out of respect. You come to my country, you didn't even look around first. You ran into my shops. You ran into my restaurants. You ate my food in my state. You didn't even look around and take this all in.
Right. You might buy a souvenir about something, but you ain't
I think that's a part of experience. You know what I'm saying? I think once you learn to go to a place and smell that air is lighter than the air you used to breathe in, or feel the humidity, or see these mountains and say, you know what, I can appreciate Georgia because we ain't got to deal with this cold ass weather where I'm from. Or I can appreciate Georgia because I don't have to deal with this filth y'all have on y'all floors. Philadelphia, Miami. You understand what I'm saying? New York. I don't have to deal with this. I don't have to deal with the traffic. Well, we have to deal with traffic now. But you can go a place and say, okay, I can appreciate home for this. Or I would move here for this. But if all you doing is keeping your perspective just so blocked in, like you looking for all the party places, I feel like you miss out on the experience.
I get that.
You understand what I'm saying?
say
So
I
experience
took
is what
away.
you see, is what you taste, is what you feel. It's everything. So if you're just going at a taste stuff, if you're just going at a hear stuff at a nightclub or whatever, then you're kind of missing out on catering to all of your senses.
Right.
And I think that that's a very important part of travel.
I can totally agree with that. You know, I went to last year. I went to Louisiana. I went for Mardi Gras. That was the event. You know, so we went down for Mardi Gras. I tried to enjoy the city. Here's the thing about going with a group of people that I don't like. I love to travel with people. It's more fun that way. But I hate to travel with people because now you have to. I know you don't. Trust and believe. I already know you don't.
I don't what?
You don't get attached to the crowd. You don't give a damn if you down there with 20 people. If you want to get the hell on, you gone.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna travel with too many large groups either.
Right, you never do. You meet up. You like we all going.
I meet you down there. Yeah,
I meet you down there.
Right.
So and you'll link up, and then you see it with the bull.
And y'all. I'm out. Right. That's right.
See, that's what. But a lot of people, as we know, aren't nine and can't break off like that. Like especially if you travel with them, that's the downside. Right. The thing about that is everybody don't want to do what you want to do. Everybody can't get on the same note, which is where itinerary would come in. But everybody just don't want to, and some people seem to have a problem with that split, with that break off. Let me tell you now, never do that. Y'all all coming to the same, especially if you stand in the same place. If y'all at the same hotel, y'all in the same cabin, whatever, do your thing. Do your thing if you can get around. A lot of times you stuck with just one vehicle or something like that. That's the worst.
Now, let me back you up some. If you plan to go out of town, plan to go out of town. That includes the people that you go out of town with. Everybody are not travel companions, okay? Everybody isn't a travel companion. Everybody's not going to go out of town and have a good time with you. You want to pick people that you know you can get along with or you can spend time with. See, my thing is I have a maximum travel day of 5 days. I won't stay anywhere more than 5 days. I don't care how beautiful the country is. I don't care. I want to go home. Okay, because I'm going to start willing on somebody. And I'm telling you, it's going to get ugly. 5 days. I cannot. And if I don't know the people well, I don't like the people, maybe two. But I think going out of town, before you even think about going, you need a place. And you need to have a reason why you want to visit that place. I want to visit Miami for the beach. Okay? Example. Who am I going to go with? It's Miami. I think I want to go with my homegirls. Or maybe I want to be chill in Miami. I ain't going to do too much because I'm going in January. I'm going in February. It's cold. It's cool. Maybe people can't afford to travel at that time. So I'm going to go with my girlfriend. I'm going to go with my boyfriend. And you kind of plan your trip out around that. Then once you know where you want to go, then you got to find out where you're going to stay. They have Airbnb now. They got VBRO, vacation rental by owners. If you don't want to stay at hotels, are overrated when you can stay in a place with a kitchen, because if you have a kitchen, that means you don't have to eat out all the time. So there's ways to think and start to plan. I'm going to stay in an Airbnb because I'm not going to pay to eat at no fancy-ass restaurants. I want the little mom and pop. So if I'm going to Miami, take me to Chef Creole. You understand what I'm saying? Like, take me to the hut where they have the patties, the conch fritters and shit like that. I want to go to those little. If I'm going to Destin, take me to Dewey's at Destin. If I'm going to Tennessee, take me to JJ's Smokehouse. I want to go to those places exclusive to where I am. Right. I will never go out of town and eat at McDonald's. I never go out of town and eat at Ryan's. I never go out of town and eat at like that. To me, I could have did that shit in Georgia. God. I'm not going out of town to do that. That's not what I paid for. And so for me, I think that planning is very important. And so when I don't want to eat out all the time, I'm going to have a kitchen there so I can cook my own food. I just save myself $100, especially if you got your kids with you. Get somewhere with a kitchen so that you can feed them. We can have pizza tonight. We can eat cereal for breakfast. And you're saving
vacation
yourself.
Go to is spaghetti.
Okay,
I'm feeding the whole house on
spaghetti or pizza. I'm
you.
telling you something. But if you do that, I think it's more feasible to go on a vacation because now you have a plan. You know what you want to do. Okay, so we're going to Miami. I'm on Groupon. I'm trying to figure out, are we going jet skiing? What events do they have there this week? I'm trying to see if I can get some discounts. You know, let me tell you what I did. When I was younger, I knew that I wanted to travel. I knew that I would be traveling. And I can remember going out of town one time. I want to say I was on Half Off Depot or something. Remember Half Off Depot? That was before Groupon, like way back when. So I was on Half Off Depot. I get this certificate. I go to Myrtle Beach. I got my family with me, and it was Groupon, and we were there. We had to do this little tour thing, you know, the same little setup that some people vacation like that. And if you vacation like that, well, you got to spend an hour and a half with somebody trying to hard pound you into buying some shit, then more power to you. I did that when I was 19 and 20. I will never, you know, that I on vacation like that. I'm sorry. Power to the people that do. That ain't my thing because I learned. So I went out there at Hilton Head, decent vacation. The hotel was crappy. So I wound up upgrading. I got sold on a timeshare. Went to this place. It was nice. I could afford it. I'm like, yeah, because I'm tired of, we're not sleeping in here another night. We ready to upgrade now. Upgrade, had a nice time. Next time I came back on the same trip, now I'm a timeshare owner. I own this timeshare. I go to the trip, and I'm talking to this guy, and his name was Mike. He was in real estate, and he was like, you know, for what you're paying in mortgage, do you know that you could save that money and go anywhere you want? You don't have to always come here to this place. You don't. Why would you want to come to Hilton Head? I mean, Hilton Head is nice. Don't get me wrong, but that's, you know,
same.
Old white people place. Golfers, if you play golf,
it's
old
worth,
white, you want to read.
It's worth a lot.
It's worth a lot, yeah. But you could drive through that,
because you ain't even, you know, gonna go there.
I like Hilton Head. I mean, I had timeshare there. I vacationed there plenty of times. I love it, but it's just I'm over it. I'm over it. But I learned then that if I just save this same little $70 a month or $150, depending on however much you pay for your timeshare, because they could be, you got a red floating week, you got this, you got
plus
that.
Plus maintenance fee.
Right, come on. And you think about that. You're talking $1,200 a year. I can go on a dope-ass vacation for $500. And when I'm talking about dope, I vacation. And you know how I get down. And I'm always on a budget. I'm always on a good, strict budget. I'm not balling, I'm budgeting. That's what I'm doing. I'll go out, I know where I'm going to stay. I have all this stuff calculated. I know what I'm going to do. I know how I'm going to get down there. I'll spend the most money on my transportation and the board. I have me a few Groupons. I'm going to go in nature. You know, going into a cave. I went into a cave in Alabama. I might have paid $4 to get in the park. Them pictures are priceless. People wished. That looked like a big thing. I paid $4 to go there. You understand what I'm saying? Like things like that. Well, maybe it's like 15, but you get what I'm saying. I think that sometimes that planning is very important when you vacation, and I think that anybody can budget for it. You put up $20 a week, you can go on a bomb-ass vacation at the end of the year. You understand? So you take $500 out your income tax. You got kids, take $700 out your income tax. You can plan a bomb vacation, a really good vacation, and I think that's where people get sidetracked. And I think people get caught up in trying to do a lot of big shit.
Yeah.
You know, they get caught up in trying to woo and do a lot when you can simplify it. If you stayed at the beach for 3 hours, that's a whole event. You understand what I'm saying? You can have dinner on the beach. Okay, we don't want to do that. We can go to a museum. We could take a tour of the town. People that go inside of town don't even know how that town was established. People live in Atlanta and don't even know how Atlanta was established. Those things are important because once you travel, it provides you with a certain type of experience. It provides you with a certain type of humility that takes you a very long way. Like you have a newfound respect for people and things and how things are done. You understand what I'm saying? So next time you smell some Vietnamese food, you ain't got to say it stank because you done opened your mind up enough to know that they use this type of herb or this type of spice and this is why. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think you should travel just for the hell of it. I think you should get something out of it.
Right. And that's the whole point. We live in this huge world. I die without seeing at least the other side.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to do, you know, experience where you at. Experience your home stay, experience outside of that, and experience outside of that, and just keep growing. Because I mean, what else we here for? I mean, so when it comes back to like we don't cover just in conversation, we don't cover all the topics. Pretty much, you said something about it. Let's just talk about more deals, I guess you could say. So, You mentioned like a timeshare. Now we didn't go into to like you said, the people who travel like that. That is a way to save money. You can, if you feel like giving up that time, you can get some really good deals
For a timeshare?
No, not for the timeshare. The timeshare vacations, where you know this is where you go online and they give you a deal just to sit through their presentation. Now, if you can sit through, like, you give up an hour or two, an hour and a half, and
3 hours.
if you let them talk your ear off like that, yeah, 3 hours. So if you're willing to give up a part of your day, you can probably get a 4-5 day vacation, 3-4-5 day vacation for little to nothing.
Right.
You
but
know.
Do not buy a timeshare.
Yeah,
it is
please.
2018.
Don't fall for the okie
Do not do that. That is one of the worst real estate transactions ever made, and it's one of the worst real estate purchases you can ever partake in. Like, that's just, don't do that.
Yeah.
I've done it twice.
Because they evolve. They have evolved a lot, and every time you go, they got something new.
And they're not a bad idea. It's
It's
just that with newer ways to do things, with Airbnbs and with Southwest flying you somewhere for $69 or $100 round trip, when you have these type of deals out there, like,
right,
yeah, I would not waste my time. But if you're talking deals, then I definitely would have Airbnb on standby. If you're okay with staying in somebody's house with them there, if it's just you and your homegirl, y'all don't need no privacy, stay in somebody's basement. Airbnb, $60 a night, both of y'all in there, you in somebody's house, they can tell you how to get around the town. You understand what I'm saying? They have hotels.com if you just prefer to stay in the hotel. They have things like that. I mean, it's a lot of ways to stay.
Yeah.
It's a lot of ways to stay. So
let's talk about timing. That's one of the big things. That's one of the big things about it. But we got to take a break. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll jump back to that when we come back.
All right.
Send me your location, let's focus on communicating, 'cause I just need the time and place to come through. Send me your location, let's ride the vibrations. I don't need nothing else but you. At times I wonder why I fool with you, but this is new to me. This is new to you. Initially, I didn't wanna fall, but you gathered my attention, it was all for you. So don't take advantage, don't leave my heart damaged. I understand that things go a little bit better when you plan it. Oh, so won't you send me your location, let's focus on communicating, 'cause I just need the time and place to come through. Send me your location, let's ride the vibrations. I don't need nothing else but you. I don't wanna fall in love off a subtweet, so let's get personal. I got a lot of cool spots that we can go. Tell me what's the move and I got you. I'm only acting like this 'cause I like you. Just give me the vibe to slide in. Oh, I might make you mine by the night. Then send me your location, let's focus on communicating, 'cause I just need the time and place to come through. Send me your location, let's ride the vibrations. I don't need nothing else but you. Ride, 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 come and vibe with me tonight. I don't need nothing else but you. Ride, 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 come and vibe with me tonight. I don't need nothing else but you. Nothing else but you.
You're listening to IBNX. IBNXradio.com.
Find your location. So we was talking about timing. So timing of the year is a big factor when it comes to prices. That's for everything. That's for rooms. That's for plane flights. Hell, that's for weather. So there's definitely something you want to look at when it comes to traveling. So, like for example, what's some good timing? Like cruises, for instance, are cheaper in the fall. Definitely. I mean, you think about it. You're gonna be in the hot sun anyway. Usually. So if you travel in the fall, you know it's just cheaper because the weather is
anywhere
not the peak time
below
of year.
the equator. Anywhere, like you're talking Miami, you're talking Mexico, all those states south of the equator, the Caribbean. You can go there in January, February. The weather is beautiful. Like the weather is beautiful. Like I'm going to Miami in January. I will be there, and but it's still gonna be 80 degrees. It's still gonna be set. I still can go to the beach, and guess what?
In the middle of winter,
it won't be too crowded. I ain't gotta deal with no whole bunch of people. I ain't gotta deal with no jacked up prices, because those prices won't be as high because it's not a peak season for Miami. But it's still nice in Miami. So now you can go down there and stay in Miami for half of the cost and enjoy yourself half the cost.
Exactly.
Anywhere in the South, you can do that for the most part. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to try to go anywhere major during spring break. Everybody's traveling during that time. The price is going to be high. You got to work. Like, I'll go out of town still, but I'm going to probably be planning that January. You understand what I'm saying? So
unless it's an event that you're trying to go to.
What do you mean?
Like a bike week. It's going to be crowded to travel then. But if
I
that's what you're trying to go see.
Like that.
So you don't like the, what about Savannah? Like St. Patrick's Day and stuff like that.
Yeah, I do St. Patrick's Day, kind of, sort of. And I'm kind of over that. But I do that because I have somewhere to stay when I'm down there. So my convenience is greatly compensated because I don't have to pay for boarding once I'm there.
Right.
I don't have to pay for breakfast because somebody going to cook for me without, like little stuff like that. So that's an easy trip to make because I have family there that's going to accommodate me.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But other than that, no, I'm not going out of town, no event. Then you have to wait in traffic to get there. They got to deal with all this. Now I can't get in line to eat at the restaurant I want to eat at because it's too crowded and I got to wait. So I came all the way out of town just to say what? I was somewhere crunk. I live in Atlanta. It's crunk every weekend. I'm not going out of town for that.
Right.
I'm not going out of town to stand in line. I'm not going out of town to be in traffic. I'm trying to go out of town to get away from that shit. But for people who vacation like that, to each his own. You know, that ain't my thing.
I get you on that. We usually, when we go, we stay on the non-crowded island. And I'm one of the people, I like to be in the action, but I don't like to deal with the action. You know what I'm saying? So I want to be close to the action where we can just jump over and be there, but I don't want to be paying action prices. I don't want to be dealing with action traffic and all that stuff. So
that's how I did the last time I went to New Orleans. Like I stayed way over in the art district, and I drove into downtown, so I didn't have to deal with a lot of the crowds and the issues down there, and I can kind of duck off and still not pay full price for a hotel on Bourbon Street too.
Right.
You know, those type of things are important. So I mean,
definitely. So look for events, bike week, spring break all the way around. You got to know the major times because colleges are out before the kids are out usually, and they're gone by the time the kids come. But kids get out different times, so pretty much that whole month.
And know the state too. You'll fuck around in Tennessee and this straight be a bourbon and barbecue festival.
That's what.
And you would be messed up trying to get somewhere in Tennessee during a time like that because, or Kentucky. I meant to say Kentucky for a bourbon and barbecue, but Tennessee have them too. Blues festivals in Tennessee, like you hard pressed to get a room anywhere. In July, you cannot go into any golfing community. So Orlando is hard in July because they have Orange Lake down there. They have a lot of golfing communities in Orlando. So during the summertime, not just because it's vacation, but golfers are there. They have the Heritage Cup in July in Hilton Head. You can't get there during that time. So it's certain places that, But I think I would like to travel for a music festival.
Like a big
I would
festival?
travel for like yeah, man. I would do that. I would travel
Like
for
a
music
Coachella?
festival. Yeah, like a Coachella, like a Treasure Island music festival, like a Voodoo Festival in New Orleans, or like the Essence Festival. Although I wouldn't do either one of those, but yeah, I would definitely do the Treasure Island Festival. I would do, like when I think about the music, I would do the Bonnaroo Festival. I would do the One Love Festival with the reggae music, and just stay out at night, camp out. Like I would really be up to doing something like that. So. Another thing, if you're not scared, camping trips are nice too. You can always pack up your tents and your camps for people who, if that's your style. Like I'm not just talking to one type of people. We talking to, like, you got a truck, you can put your tent on the back of your truck, pull up at a state park, pay $15 to get your truck in. That's all you got to pay to sleep. That works in the summertime perfectly. If you with that type of life. They have showers there you could take and all kind of stuff.
But I still think you should at some point at least tip your toe in the water. If you're not a nature person, how would you know? I mean, you don't like nature, but it's a little different if you go on a nature type trip. It might be different. So if you try something, I ain't gonna say jump out there because I'm not one who's gonna just jump out there because I know I'm not a nature person, even though I've dealt with it. That's why I know, but I would still not turn away from doing certain nature-esque trips. Like, do I want to go hiking? Like, people get thrills from hiking. People get thrills from rock climbing. And it's just, to you, it's just something to look at. Somebody else, they thinking this is some good climbing. Like people who surf. They like to go certain different places, different beaches because they know the waves.
To surf, right.
It's a good surf out there or something like that. So you look for things you're into. That'll help you with new places to go once you hit the big places.
But let me tell you something. Start small and then and feed your appetite.
Right.
If you are in Atlanta right now, I can think of 20 things in Georgia that you can do alone. 20 beautiful places that you can do alone depending on what type of vacation you're looking for. And then those include partying too. And I think the most important part about traveling is to be open-minded. If you live in Atlanta, like you live in the shit type of city, so you ain't gonna go nowhere really and find what you get here. Right. So the DJ might not play the music you like, you know what I'm saying? Like you might not get that kind of crunk in certain places, like you said, unless it's an event. If you going into Myrtle Beach, you know what I'm saying? It just depends on where you're going. It's going to be Myrtle Beach. They're going to have a certain type of food. They got a certain type of music. If you're going here, you're going there.
Now, you should definitely experience that.
Yeah, you have
to
open your mind to those type of things and kind of, just be open-minded and take in those new experiences.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't look to go nowhere and really have it outdo Atlanta. Like, we got the best clubs. I done been to New York. Okay, I done been to L.A. I done been, you know what I'm saying? And like I've not just been, woo, you know what I'm saying? I've been to Miami. Miami might got better strip clubs in Georgia, but they nightclubs, man, yeah, all right. If you want to goddamn hear a whole lot of Florida music, or if you want to, deal with certain things. So when it comes to partying, I think we should look at Atlanta like a good city to travel in. A lot of people visit here. And then outside of those scopes, just to open your mind to whatever state you in and kind of embrace that. I think that's important.
Definitely. Look at all-inclusives. Those are also good deals. She already said the other places to check. Some of the websites you can check. Hotwire, Travelocity, those are the basic sites. And then you got some deeper ones out there if you really look, and you can find some good like Groupon is a good one. A lot of people don't look at Groupon for those type of deals, but they have some really good deals. So can't even say the word. Specific places.
Right.
So if you're going there, I always say if I'm going to a city, I want to, at least get that. So, closing, what would be some places? Do you think that everybody should see America, like the landmarks in America, what they call No, yeah, the landmarks. I was about to say 7 wonders of the world. Yeah.
If that's your interest, yeah.
So you don't think being an American, you don't think you should see those, or that's what I'm saying.
Landmarks like the Statue of Liberty, the Liberty Bell.
Just whatever,
If that's your interest.
Okay.
If that's your interest, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
I think I'd rather see the underground city of Philadelphia than go see the Liberty Bell. You understand? They got the whole city underground. Like, that's amazing. I would want to go see that. You know what I'm saying? Versus going to see the Liberty Bell.
Gotcha.
That makes sense. I want to hit upstate New York before I go see the Statue of Liberty and walk around there with all these people walking in the line looking dumb just to say they was at the Statue of Liberty. I'd just rather go somewhere else to see I'd rather just ride the subway. To me, that's an experience. But if sightseeing like that is very important to you, then I do think that's something, especially if it's your first time traveling there. Like, I've been to the Empire State Building, I've been to the Cheesecake Place, I've been Justin's, the Cheesecake Place, I've been to the Empire State Building and the Wax Museum and the norm. You know,
and here's the thing with me. I felt like places that I know they have places like New York, I felt like I didn't experience it because I didn't get to see the places that you know about in New York. I got to Times Square, but I didn't get to see, how do you go to New York and not see the Statue of Liberty? I literally did not even see it from a distance.
Really?
Didn't cross that bridge. So okay. I didn't know they had 2 airports. Yeah, I came into one that didn't have nothing.
You went to LaGuardia?
Yeah, I think so.
Not JFK, right.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I went to LaGuardia and then I got to see, no, that was when I went to Denver. Never mind. So, yeah. So I felt like I just didn't even, I ain't been to New York because I ain't seen the Statue of Liberty.
I've been to New York a few times, and the first time I went to all those places, every time after that, I'm somewhere like maybe Cambria Heights, Manhattan. I've been there. I went to the park. I wanted to see Central Park. So I've been a few places, but mainly like regular places, no sightseeing. Yeah. It's kind of touristy. But that's what I mean. It's like if you want to go a place and be a tourist. Some things they real touristy. It's like, man, I don't need to see the Statue of Liberty. I've seen a million pictures of the Statue of Liberty. What I want to go see that? I want to go see something everybody else ain't seen. That's how I look at it. Yeah, I know where you been. I bet you don't know where I am. Okay. How about that? Do you know what this is? You know where this is from? Have you seen this color water before? Right. I don't want to do the typical shit. I done seen them pictures before. We seen it on TV. We know the name. We know what it got to offer. How about this place you didn't know about? So you really, when you looking more for the things, and then you find your way to that place, or do you look at a place and be like, okay, let me see what they got? Nah, I don't know. I can't explain that. I just go. This is someplace new. I'm finna milk it. So you just pretty much bullseye the map type of style. Yeah. I want to get to a point like that one day. So that's it, people. I mean, I guess the wrap up this is just it's a new year, people. You got to live your life, and you got to expand, grow in life. That's what I was trying to say. You got to grow in life, because I mean, if living your life is just going to the club every weekend, that's a pretty basic life. I ain't gonna say sad and nothing. It could be happy for you. If that's your thing, then great. But I think as a human being on this earth, before you go, you got to see this earth. Yeah. Travel. There you go. Travel. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna shut up. When you close your eyes at night and dream, you can't dream anything that you have not seen previously. Unless it was in the past life. No. You cannot dream anything that you have not seen or witnessed previously. Everything that you see when you close your eyes is a culmination of things that you've seen when your eyes were open. Okay? So travel so that you can envision and see more things when you dream, because the more you see, the more you desire. It's like feeding a hunger. But if you don't go anywhere to expand what you already know, then you're going to be stuck with what you already got. So that's why it's important to travel. Deep words by now. We're going to bring you one of those every week. But on that note, it's time to go to another music break, and it's time to get into more with 9 on the inside. On Word of Mine.
You're listening to IBNX. IBNXradio.com. The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
Hey, what's up? It's Jay-Z.
Hey, I'm Mariah Carey.
Hey, it's Katy Perry.
It's your boy T.I.P., man. Get in. It's your boy Sean Kingston.
What's up, y'all? I'm Beyonce.
This is Nicki Minaj, and I'm in the mix with
IBNX Radio.
Hey, scoot. I know in a bit. Hey. North side coolin' shorty, yeah, that's where I stay. Heard you was a lame boy, get up out my face. And my ex keep calling, swear that she be in the way. And I need a thick red bone, shorty where I lay. Bad bit in LA, tell me I should make the trip. Shorty bad as hell, yeah, with them college journalists. Uber every fucking where, pre-rolls in my VIP. Canada John, yeah, I think that bitch from the 6. Shorty wanna kiss me, but I know she sucking dick. Shorty wanna kiss me, but I know she sucking dick. Look, Uber everywhere, pre-rolls in the VIP. Yeah, Uber everywhere, pre-rolls in my VIP. Hey. Skirt. Yeah, I wanna get the Rari, but I know it takes some time. Pre-roll, shorty light it up, you know you fine. Little 5 with my 5, and I'm rolling up the gap. And I need my leg room, babe stubs, first class. East Atlanta, John Cookout, I'm all in that. Say she bout that shit, but I think that I'm a pack. Shorty wanna fuck me, but I know I got some top. Shorty wanna fuck me, but I just got some top. I can't fuck with op, never stop. Pull up in that juice spot, Uber fucking everywhere. I can't fuck with op, never stop. Pull up in that juice spot, Uber fucking everywhere. Hey, yeah, Uber everywhere. Pre-rolls in my VIP. Yeah, by Uber everywhere. Pre-rolls in my VIP. And I think that bitch from Canada, I think she from the city. Yeah, by Uber everywhere. Pre-rolls in the VIP. Hey. Skirt. Hey. Skirt. Hey. Skirt. Hey. Uber everywhere, pre-rolls in my VIP. Yeah, by Uber everywhere, pre-rolls in my VIP. And I think that bitch from Canada, I think she from the city. Yeah, by Uber everywhere, pre-rolls in the VIP. Hey.
Welcome to the inside with 9 Ether, your underground source for the gym vision, start tactics, and the jewels of the week. Visitors beware, but once you enter, you may never view the world the same again. Your access has been granted.
Hey, welcome to the inside. I'm gonna start off with, I guess I might not really just go into a star tactics. I was talking about the orbs, but I really think I just want to read those because just giving the instructions about the colors is going to not really be conducive. People want to know what color they are so we can get down to the nitty gritty. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna start doing that, but I think in Star Tactics this year, I really want to bring y'all some heat. Like, I really want to give a lot of game, a lot of information that's not known that is useful, which I do anyway, but I think I really want to focus. Like, I think we did the 4 agreements again. I mentioned that again. That was probably like a really good one, or talking about the jewels and the numerology. So I kind of want to focus more on those things. But today in Star Tactics, I just wanted to note quickly that our year, January 1st, started on a Monday. The first of the year started on a Monday, and it was also a full moon. So, like, it was a super moon at that. So the year really got off to a good, powerful start with good energy, and I hope that everybody really, really began to have, start off to have a very happy new year. The calendar and the year is about currency. I don't know if a lot of people know that, which is why when you asked earlier if it's something in particular that I do, not really. Like, my new year starts at my birthday, which happens to be in the earlier part of January. So it kind of works out like a new year type of thing. But even if my birthday were in March, I would probably start my new year in March. Again, that January just is for the fiscal. So for my djembe / start tactics, I'm going to talk a little bit more about time. And I've done this in the past before, but this was like a long, long time ago. So, we go by a Gregorian calendar, and the Gregorian calendar is named for Pope Gregory the 12th. It was introduced in October of 1582. That's when we took on the Gregorian calendar, which has 12 months, some consisting of 30 days, some consisting of 31 days, one consisting of 28 days. And I'm going to explain how all of that came to be. So a long time ago, long time ago, like a million years BC, a few thousand years, 100 years BC, the world was based off of an ancient Egyptian or Kemetic calendar. The Mayans had a calendar or a system of time also known as the Zocan that was here in the Western world, but the Western world hadn't been explored yet. So the world went off of this Egyptian calendar, which consisted of 12 months, and those 12 months being all 30 days. Each month had a 10-day week. So 3 months, 10 days, 30 days, and at the end of those 12 months, there were 5 days that they used to celebrate the new year. Okay, and this new year came in the springtime. It was not in the dead of winter. The new year started somewhere around March because that was the beginning of new life. And so that's when the new year was celebrated, around March. And there were 5 festival days that welcomed the spring equinox, and then there was the start of the first month again. And it went like, and it was a numeric system, so the months didn't have names. And it was a solar calendar. It wasn't a lunar calendar. Right now, we talk about the sun revolving around the planet, but a month means moon. Mun, M-O-N, means moon. And so the moon is based off of a 28-day cycle, and that's what our months are based off of. And a lot of that changed with Julius Caesar, who actually was in the bed with Cleopatra. And that's who gave the Roman Empire their calendar system. And so Julius Caesar, there was a Julian calendar that came around 46 BC. This was after a system of time had already been solidified. A system of time was already in place. Julius Caesar was dealing with I was going to call her Nefertiti. Her name is Cleopatra. Mm-hmm. And she was milking them for a lot of riches and jewels and land and power during that time. In return, she gave them knowledge, and in particular, the knowledge of timekeeping, which Julius Caesar went back and created the Julius calendar. In that time, he also named the month of July for himself. July is named after Julius Caesar. He did that around 44 BC. And he kind of changed up the map to have these 10 months still. It was still 10 months, and they started to kind of take away a few days. So, yeah, it's July. This is my month. Julius, what's up? I'm going to take a day from February or from another month to make my month larger, which is how July got 31 days. August is named after Augustus Caesar, which was his brother. And that also had 31 days. That came about around before Augustus got a month, which was August. It was called Sextilia. So like I said, the new year started in March. March was the first month. Okay, and March was named, and we're talking Julius, because the Egyptian calendar was just numbers. It was a system of numbers. The months didn't have names. When the Julian calendar came into place, they named the first month March, which is for Mars, or the god of war, because we know what them Romans was about. So March is for Mars, and Mars is the god of war. That's where the first month got its name from. April is there was a little discrepancy about how April got its name, because April is for aprire, which means to open in Latin, like the buds and the blooms are open. But April also is Latin for second. So I don't know if
March, April. Yeah,
right, for it's the second month, right? And then also Aphrodite is what, if you Google it, they'll tell you that April is named for Aphrodite, probably because March was named for Mars. April is named for Aphrodite, which is the goddess of love and, you know, fertility, obviously going into a new spring, so it all kind of coincides. May was named for Maia, the goddess of earth and plants. Of course, the summertime is coming in. June is for the goddess of marriage. All the people get married in June, but it was named for the goddess of marriage. Of course, July was for Julius Caesar. And then August was for Augustus Caesar. And then September was for 7, because originally before January and February, I haven't even talked about those 2 months because they were added later after the Gregorian calendar. September was 7 because that was the 7th month. And then October was 8th. November was 9th. December was 10th. Like DEC for Deca, and then, you know, No for Novem, which means 9 in Latin. And then later on, they added February, which was named for the Februa festival in Rome, and it was like a Saturnina type of festival, or coming of the winter solstice type thing, and they had that at the end of the year. So that was almost like again, it was in December. It was what Christmas would be, but again, it was celebrated in February because that was the last month of the year. February was. And then they had January, which was in between. So it was March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. That's how the months went. January is named for Janus, which is the god of the beginning and end. That's the two-faced god, one looking to the front and one looking to the back, to connect February to the rest of the for the months. So he was named after Janus. And so January and February were added to the Gregorian calendar. In 1582, they made January the first month of the year, and not March. So, I wanted to give that little history so you'll know where those months came from. And again, March has always started the new year up until the 1500s, where they put January in the beginning. And that was done because Pope Gregory was doing the push again. Remember I told you about the push for religion? He wanted January to be around that winter solstice, December and January to be around the winter solstice, because that's when the pagans was celebrating certain holidays. And again, in order to implement the whole Christism and Christianity into that, he moved January to the first month of the year. And December to the last month of the year, where the winter solstice was, so it would be easy. Nope. I take that back. He moved the January to the start of the year because there were issues with Ishtar, which is Easter, which is the fertility god that happens in the spring. And he wanted Ishtar and Easter to coincide. I'm sorry. And in order to make that happen and to keep the pagans quiet, he had to have the spring equinox and Ishtar at the it couldn't be at the start of the year anymore. It had to be in the middle of the year, something crazy like that. But it was in order to make Easter fall March 21st, like it should fall at the time of the spring equinox. You can Google that, but that's definitely what it was. That was my mistake. So anyway, long story short, we had all these months switched around, and I said that to say that time is relative. It's no such thing as time. Every day has 23 hours and 56 minutes. So every time you put those other 4 minutes on there, you lose time because you've cut into the next day. And you've done that over and over and over again. So you've lost 4 minutes per day your whole life. So your time synchronicity is completely off, which is another reason why they went from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar, because the calendar was shy by 11 minutes, which is why March kept shifting. And Easter kept shifting because the timing was off. Because the solar calendar is completely different from the Gregorian calendar. They are not the same. And the concept of time was done by some some questionable people. They might have been geniuses, in 1500, but not now. So the time is off because each year has about 364 days and some change. And each month should actually be 28 days. And when we put in the leap year, which is every 4 years, unless that year is divisible by 100 or 400, then we don't have a leap year on those years, which is a crazy mathematical equation that is going to expire because it's impossible to keep that up, which means time would have to shift again. And also, in addition to the leap year, we have daylight saving times where we kind of steal an hour. I don't know if you realize that during daylight saving time, the outside are just all by itself. If you notice when it's coming to the fall time, it starts to get dark outside early anyway. There's no need for us to shift it an additional hour. These are ways that time is really being stolen from you. Stolen from you so that you can't predict when the Mayan calendar ended, so that you can't predict the age of Aquarius. And I think it's very important for us to remove ourselves from that time because that time is only centered to business. Time is money. That's why I said the start of the year is just a fiscal. It just means a new system to making money. And that's what time is important for business because time is money and keeping up with currency. And so I wanted to leave that out there as far as time is. We all jumbled up. We all thrown off from the start of the Gregorian calendar. It ain't nobody's fault. Ain't nobody wrong. It was given to us wrong already. And it's a lie. So trying to truly understand that system of time as a past, present, and a future is about all you got. And one day, hopefully, you get to graduate from that as well. Because even those are illusions and relative, too. So that's my djembe / star tactics for today. And I'm going to move right along to my jewel. My jewel is going to be to travel. And I know we talked about that, and it sounds kind of cliche, but I do think it does something to expand the brains. Other websites you can go to, cheapcaribbean.com for cruises, all-inclusive trips. I would also suggest you getting with the airline and starting to save those flight points. Those things come inside, and those things come in handy. Or to even, use your income tax or something like that to travel. So that's my jewel for today. It's to go and see the world, and to make 2018 a great year.
Sounds good. So, question: when we talk about the calendar, so does that mean February was the last month?
Yes.
So it basically just adds 10 on.
Did it add 10 on? No, they started to shift the days. So remember, you had.
I mean, to where they take 10 off to find out what the real take 2 off. Sorry.
To find out what the real system is?
Organization. Because if you take 10 from 11, which would make it 1, which is January, and if you take 10 from February, which would make it 2 February, I was counting like that, but then once you get back to May, then it just throws it all off. So, yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. I get it now. Okay. I was trying to do some ad, and I was all wrong. But anyway, we about to go to another music break real quick. And a regular break. And we'll be right back with the upside with yours truly here on IBNX Radio.
Stefflon Don. You know what it is when you hear that?
Breakfast in bed, darling. I got your bed falling. I make you bed for you. I make you bed for you. Breakfast in bed, darling. I got your bed falling. I made mistakes, you done me wrong, but now you leave me calling. I heard you got a new girl.
What you know about going out? Big jet, big check. Don't care, die for my respect. Life, we gon' live it up. Neck, we gon' glitter it up. Dice game, get them, girl. Gon' bet it up. Grind and invest it. Invest, played the main role, not the extras. Made movies like Netflix, never domestic. Watching the necklace, young and I'm restless. You know who the best is. 3/4 Gucci Mane with the first shoe. Got a girl and the girl got a girl too. Hit me with the fab like put it in the bag. Pull up with my new thing like I know she mad.
You're listening to IBNX. IBNXradio.com.
If you're not listening to Word of Mind Radio, then you're seriously missing out. Hosts Trey Grizzy and Nine Ether share their perspectives on everything from social issues that affect our communities to relationships and trends that affect us all. Guaranteed to teach you something new. Word of Mind is engaging.
The only way that we can do this is do it together. So I love you.
We all love you for
empowering.
Somebody dropped the ball somewhere because we want our kids to forget the struggles that we went through, but the struggles that we went through is what got us to where we are now.
And definitely entertaining.
You know, she probably got one of them wholesome names like Gertrude, but back in the day they called her Gertie. They called her
Dirty Gertie.
Dirty Gertie. Flirty Gertie. You know what I mean?
Oh, y'all are horrible.
Yeah.
Tune in and learn up every Tuesday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Only on IBNX Radio.
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
IBNX Radio.
All right, that's a way to welcome back into the upside. Just drop bombs like Clue. All right, we in the upside. So, first off, we start out with the sad news. Amanda Davis, who was with Fox 5 News for 26 years, and was the co-host of Good Day Atlanta. You know, she passed away Tuesday over the holiday, and she had a stroke. She was actually on the job out here
in the airport.
Yeah,
somewhere. Yeah.
Doing the news and just had a stroke. Man, that's crazy. So, you know, prayers go out to her. You know, she was on for a long time. Everybody know who Angela Davis is from Georgia. Even lived in Georgia. Amanda Davis. You know if you saw her, see? Remember her?
Yeah, I remember. I know exactly who it was.
Oh, okay. I was about to say you probably seen her before. So yeah, she had a lot. You know, she had a lot of issues going on. You know, beforehand, but she bounced back. You know, she had a couple of drunk driving cases or whatever, but she was able to bounce back. So it's sad, you know, that she had to go through so much or deal with so much beforehand. But you know, rest in peace and prayers go out to the family and all that. That just sound all insensitive, I know. So today we have I have a question situation. So a situation, I guess you could say. So say you're getting married, you know, you with the love of your life, you know, y'all are lovebirds, soulmates, all that good stuff. And you finally made it, you getting married, and a week before the wedding, or a few days before the wedding, you know, you have the bachelor and bachelorette parties. So you go out, hang out with, say, your husband or wife is out at this bachelorette party, and something happens. They get drunk, and by the next day, they confess to you that they stepped out, slept with someone.
During that time or previously?
No, during that time, like that night.
Oh, so he got drunk on his bachelor party night, then woke up the next day and like, baby, I cheated last night. I got too drunk.
Yeah, just basically admitting to you that, yeah. Now,
did I cheated before or did I cheated last night? That's what I'm asking you.
That I cheated last night during the bachelor party. I had sex with one of the strippers, or after the bachelor party, or I had relations with a guy, dude, at the party or something like that.
Okay.
If it's a woman, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. If your spouse was to come and tell you that it's your soulmate, y'all lovebirds, would you still? And it's a couple days away. Would you still have the wedding?
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
Why?
It was a bachelor party. Like,
So
what
the
you
si-
think?
so the
How many
situation does
times
make
that
a-
happen and the person just don't tell you that he, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
He did to do the night before your party. Like, he could have kept that shit to himself and let us keep it moving real quick. You ain't have to tell me that, folks.
So
Like,
that the honesty would help.
I don't know that the honesty would help.
Or
The
what
fact that
about the situation?
I guess, I mean, it's a bachelor party.
So if it was a different situation, he just admitted that he slipped up, went out to a bar, you know, or whatever. Or
Yeah,
just
to
was
me, cheating isn't a reason to leave. I'm sorry.
out. Okay, there you go.
No, I'm not. Yeah, now I mean, like, cheating over and over again and disrespectful and motherfuckers calling your house and you got to be in public embarrassed and your homegirl coming back, you telling you, girl, you know, I saw John with, you know, Christy the other day, da-da-da. Okay, yeah, maybe that could be hurtful. I get that. You don't want to deal with that. But a motherfucker minding his business and he do something else in his own time that ain't got shit to do with you. Like, for me, I mean, if you don't know, you don't know. I just don't see leaving my soulmate behind something so petty.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As long as it's not disrespectful or distasteful. I'm not condoning cheating. What I'm condoning is family. Like, if we rocking, then we rocking. People make mistakes. People got their shortcomings. Like, what we in it for? Let's figure out what we in it for. You know what I'm saying? If we in it for something great, then let's go get that greatness. You know what I'm saying? I can't say I won't not trust that motherfucker after that, or he might not get stabbed for trying to, you know, coming in too late later.
Right.
You know, but hey, I wouldn't leave on. I don't know. That ain't never happened to me, so I can't just be nonchalant and be like, yeah, I can take it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But for me, I don't think, you know, a one-time affair is enough reason to leave somebody you say you love.
Right. I agree with you. Does the situation matter? Kinda, not really. Does the truth matter? Kinda, not really. Because you're going to feel a certain way. You're not going to just wipe it off just because they told you. You still going to, unless you pulled it out of them with that. It is, I think it's just on how you feel about that person. If you feel like that's your soul, that was the key phrase to me. If you feel like that's your soulmate or whatever, I'm not saying you give a pass automatically for anything, but you know, that's where the situation and all that come into play. I think I would personally would still have the wedding. I might not have it that day. Right. I would say I might pose. This depends all that financially, because you can pay some money you can't get back or something. You know, that might come into play. All that.
Right.
So
that's what I was gonna say. Like, what happened if a few nights before your wedding, that same person told you, hey, yeah, I killed a 12-year-old, you know what I'm saying? Or I lost all my money, I'm broke now. That's the shit you might be like, you know what, let me think twice about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you sleeping with somebody ain't gonna come back to hunt us as much as you just went bankrupt the night before we got married, or you murdering the stripper. Okay, we got too drunk, we got freaky, I choked the bitch, she dead, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, you know, that's something major. You can't get back from that. Ain't no, you know, I don't know. I just think it's a lot more extremities out there outside of somebody, you know.
Right, I agree with that. So, there you have it. Moving on. Today, let's talk about UGA Bulldogs real quick. They have beat the Rose Bowl, same
OKC.
situation, and it's about to go down in the championship. We see how that goes. This might be one for the boys. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since we had us a win, so that'll be nice.
Yeah, I think that'll be good for Georgia.
Today was Keisha Lance Bottoms, Atlanta mayor-elect, her first day. Getting swelled in inauguration. And that happened around the same time that we started the show. So I tuned in a little bit before we end. You got your boys out there still repping. T.I. was out there. Killer Mike and a couple other people. They all out there. Yeah. You know, pushing hard for the old girl and getting the news out there. So, you know, good luck to her, and hopefully that does something good for Atlanta. Because one thing about, I know you were saying Atlanta is a separate city, and if you don't live there, it don't really affect you, which is true. But then I was thinking about it too, like from a business perspective and other perspectives. I'm just like,
I didn't say that. I said if you don't live in Atlanta, ain't shit you can do about it because you can't vote. I didn't say it don't affect you.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying it would only affect the people who live in Atlanta.
No, it only applies. Like, it only matters. You can't vote. Ain't shit you can do. Like, your vote, how you feel about her being the mayor or not doesn't matter is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that what happens in Atlanta doesn't have a ripple effect all over the state of Georgia, because it does. Or a bad decision made by that mayor could affect, whatever. So, yeah. Like the streets not being closed on a particular day and people got to come in to work in the city that they work for. You know what I'm saying? But they might live in another county. If the mayor make a bad choice, then, yeah, you kind of subjected to that, right? So, yeah, it definitely affects us, but it wasn't nothing you could do about who won the election if you don't live in the city. But go ahead, proceed.
No,
you said, I know it don't matter, but...
What you just said. You said my point.
Oh, okay.
It affects a lot of stuff, all the way from people in Decatur to visitors coming in, That's all I was going to say. Today is National Science Fiction Day.
Ooh.
Personal Trainer Day, being as everybody trying to get their goals to get their workout on.
That's a conspiracy. That personal trainer day would be the 2nd of January, right in time for you New Year's resolutionists out there.
Exactly. And Buffet Day, which is back. That's a double negative right there. How's it gonna be Personal Trainer Day and Buffet Day?
It's for them folks who posted the meme like, I'm gonna be the same old me in 2018 that I was in 2017. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a big New Year's resolution person because I think that there's no right time to start doing something great. If you want to take care of yourself, you will get up and do it whenever you feel the need to do it. Like, trying to say, I'm going to do it on this day. Or I'm going to wait till Monday and start. Or I got to wait the next week to get a fresh start. Like, that's bull. You lying to yourself. So if you think you had to wait till the next year to get in shape, then you setting yourself up. However, those 5 days that you gonna work out are better than 0 days that you could not have been working out. So I still salute any little bitty help that you give to yourself for the greater good of yourself is all, it's all acceptable. It's all accepted, So that's how I feel about New Year's resolution. I know a lot of people don't keep them. People say what they gonna do and they don't do it, but the little time that you did spent doing it matters still. You know what I'm saying? It's like saying, okay, well, I ain't gonna drink sodas. And then you fuck around and drink a soda and be like, oh, I drank a soda. I guess I better go back. Nah, you messed up one day. But how many days did you go not drinking soda? 6. That's 6 days that you could have been adding on 1,000 calories to.
They look at it like it's a contest.
Right. Like, nah. Yeah, you slip off, you pick back up and keep it pushing. So anyway.
Yeah. All that good stuff. You know what I don't like? That remind me of when people say New Year, New Me. I don't have a problem with that or nothing like that, because that can be if that's what you're going to do. But it goes back to what you was just saying, like, why wait till the beginning of the year? Like, okay, once this damn clock shifts around, I'm about to have the ad. I'm about to get in the ad.
Right. Yeah, I don't think that you should have to wait on something to excite you or to motivate you. I think we should be able to find that motivation, anyway. But everybody don't do that. Everybody can't do that. So some people need that time to start. Some people need that fresh, okay, I'm going to get out there and do it. I wonder how many people actually stick to their New Year's resolution. Like, I always see that, if you save $1 the first week in January, the first week, the second week you save $2, and the third week you save $3, and the fourth week, and by the time you get to the 52nd week, you'll save $52. For the whole year, you would have saved $5,048. Ooh, like, it's this big thing. Like, how many people actually save that dollar every week? How many people save that, the money that they were supposed to save every week? A lot of people don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you put up $10 per week in December, you would have $520. That's your plane ticket. That's round trip for 2 people right there. You know what I'm saying? Or that's your hotel and plane. $10 a week. But how many people stick to those New Year's resolutions? If you cut out a soda, which is 150 calories, how many calories does it take to make a pound? Like 1,000 or something? A lot.
And it take a lot of them of cutting to cut out some
but if you cut out 150 calories a day, in 10 days, that's 1,000 calories. That's a pound in 10 days. You understand? At the end of the week, where you have 30 days, you could have lost 3 pounds just by cutting out 1 soda a day. You understand? Like, when you count them numbers all the way up to the end and think about the change you can make with small things. And I think a lot of times when we think resolution, like, I'm going to get a gym membership, I'm going to go to the gym. Nah, just eat a salad for lunch every day. Just skip out on a soda. Just drink water in place of this. Or just go walking around your job. Walk around the block twice. Those small things can make a difference. So I always tell people when they set goals for themselves, set a realistic goal. Because if you have a realistic goal, then it's easier for you to achieve it. Sometimes we set ourselves up for failure. You know, I'm going to go to the gym every week. I'm going to do this every day, blah, 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 blah. Then when you don't do it, it's like, I tried it, but I just stopped because I quit. I failed myself. Why did you fail yourself? Because you set your bar too high. You know what you're capable of. Do what's in your means to do and then accomplish that. So that's my advice to the resolutionists out there, because I hate to see people, like you say, new year, new me, boop, boop, we ain't doing it. Everybody said 2017 was their year. I hear 2017, everybody said it was a crappy year. Oh, this year was this. Oh, I hated the year because it did this. Or I ain't get to do this. Or blah, blah, blah. Next year, I'm going to get it right. But nah, man, nah. Like, if any time was bad for you, that means you made it that way. You're responsible for what happens to you. You're responsible for what you allow to happen to you. So take some responsibility for having a bad year. You know what I'm saying? And then when you have a good year the next year, you can take credit for that too. But that's on you if you had a bad year. So maybe you ain't seeing shit the right way. Maybe you should have stuck to your resolutions and then you wouldn't have had a crappy year.
No, I said no fate.
Oh, no, I was not you. I was just saying it in general. What did you say? No.
I said so. No fate.
No fake what?
Fate.
Oh, hell nah. I don't believe in fate. Nah.
So you make your own fate.
Yeah, of course you do. Or you let somebody make it for you. But it didn't happen by itself.
Or you make fate your own way. You know what I mean by that? Like,
yeah, you
like
do.
Go like, say if you're gonna die anyway, you go out on your own terms type of thing. Or
no, you're gonna die anyway.
Right. So it's still the same. So
how you die is completely up to you.
Right.
You can't get hit by a bus if you don't go outside now, can you? But your ass still gonna die.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I think you choose that. I think to just leave everything up to the whims of the universe is asinine.
Yeah.
You know, I think for you to wait for somebody to choose, like if you're not doing it, then guess what? The person you work for is doing it for you. They're telling you you're gonna work to 65. They're telling you you're gonna retire at 65. You understand what I'm saying? If you sit down and eat steak and potatoes every day, the food industry is telling you you're going to die of colon cancer. Like, you don't need no help. If you smoke cigarettes every day, the tobacco industry is telling you you're going to die of lung cancer. Then you could choose to change that. That ain't fate. That didn't just happen by itself. You weren't going to die of lung cancer if you didn't smoke them cigarettes. Nah, that fate is bullshit. Come on.
Okay.
Fate is when you meet the person that you were gonna meet anyway, but even that ain't fate, because you still had to go out the house to do that. You still had to take control. You know what I'm saying? You had to have some type of action. It didn't just happen out of nowhere. That's what fate means. It was bound to happen regardless of the circumstances. No, You have to have circumstances to make things happen. And you have the free will to control those circumstances. When you stop thinking that you don't, then maybe you can start to really control those circumstances and see the changes that you want to see. But while you still leaving your fate to God and whatever other white man pulling the strings for you, then you going to get whatever they give you. And yeah, your fate will be decided. But that's because you let it. Anyway.
Okay. That should have been another
Child, I was just trying to help you out because...
No, I'm not talking about length. I'm talking about knowledge.
Oh, okay, my bad.
See,
I wasn't trying to shoot you up.
No, he ran me over that time.
Oh, I threw you under the bus.
As always.
My bad.
Sorry, your signature moves. Cool. Anyway, other sad news. I should have said it earlier. It's actually not even news. It's old news, but we didn't mention it last show, so trying to get to it now. A lot of you may have heard about the old National Liquor Store that got robbed and shot up the other day. We lost 3 people in that. The shooter, the store owner, and a well-known employee at the store.
Who killed the shooter?
The
cop
owner. No cops. The owner came from the back of the store with his gun when the suspect was trying to rob the store. And when he came out the back, they had a shootout. He killed the shooter. The shooter shot him. And somebody killed the employee.
Somebody else?
One of the shots, whether it's from the owner or the suspect, killed.
This one at Kilroy's, was it?
No, the one down the street from Kilroy's, the second one you see. Well, you know, it's the first one when you go left. If you go right, you have to go right to go to Kilroy's.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to the left towards the actual Old National, it's the first one on the right.
The first liquor store on the right?
The Old National.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Damn.
Yep, you can still see all the shots outside the windows and everything. So
that's crazy. Didn't a lady get killed on Old National too?
She was the if you're not talking about the same one.
Not the package lady, the delivery lady who was delivering packages.
Yeah, that was
Was that separate or the same thing?
No, that was separate.
She got killed on Old National too, though, didn't she?
She got killed. Was it Old National? She was in somebody's. I know what you're talking about. She was at a business, wasn't she?
I thought she was on Old National. But I'm not sure. Don't let me mix that up. But I know they having this whole campaign about take Old Nat back.
Yeah.
Somebody need to do something.
It was on Old National.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody need to do something because Old National is hot, and you know that we kind of
has been hot.
But we party on Old National.
Of hot, you know.
Yeah.
It's always been hot, but not like that.
Yeah, and I'm on Old National. Right. You know, like not all the time, but I go to Old National, and that's that shit is kind of okay.
Right.
You know.
It's growing and it's showing at the same time. In age, I mean.
Make you not want to be around there. That's sad. That is sad.
It is. I was just there yesterday. Just past the store. So, prayers go out to them. You know, we late, but, you know, we was having an end of year show, and I didn't get the news up in time. So, anyway, moving on. Today's telegrams are at 79Meek. MEEK, and at MWC_INT. So that's at 79Meek and at MWC_INT. Sorry. They followed us and showed us some love, so make sure you go follow them and show them some love. That is the end of our show for today. I want to thank everybody who gave us help today.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. And make sure you follow us at wordofmindradio@gmail.com.
And you can follow me.
I always say that. Follow us at wordofmindradio.
Period. I don't know why he want to give you the whole email address.
I'm telling you, you know what? If you want to send us some show ideas and all that, you can use the email address. But you can also do it with new technology. We can do it over Instagram. We can do it over Facebook. Just hit us up at Word of Mind Radio anywhere you see it. And hit me up at TR3GRIZZY.
And you can hit me up at BROWNSKINNED Godis. Brown skinned goddess. And that's on Instagram only, not Facebook. Yeah, I'm working on that.
He trying to give his. You have to hit the microphone.
You have to turn your mic on.
My mic on. Did he want to come in here and say it?
All right. So can you click our outro for us? Not yet.
So yeah, follow at IBNX Radio.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, and till next time, we got a what's the show next week?
We have a health holistic healing show next week, so make sure you guys tune in. I think it's going to be pretty good. We're going to have a guest inside, and she's going to go over some holistic healing and wellness cleansing type of things, and I'll be here to get my little 2 cents per usual. So it should be a good show.
You know, the start of the year, you know, we got you on traveling, so now you got to get your body right and go on with those New Year resolutions that you say you're starting off if you waited till now. So make sure you tune in. Until then, I already gave my name. Hell.
Ciao,
Until
bye.
then, we'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.
Peace.
IBNX Radio.
You're listening to IBNX. IBNXradio.com. The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
Hey, what's up? It's Jay-Z.
Hey, I'm Mariah Carey. Hey, it's Katy Perry.
It's your boy T.I.P., man. Get in. It's your boy Sean Kingston.
What's up, y'all? I'm Beyonce. This is Nicki Minaj, and I'm in the mix with
IBNX Radio.